Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In the last video, I showed you guys how to take good photos in low light conditions using only environmental light. But today, I'm taking it to the next level. I'm going to help you guys level up your low light game by using external lights. Like right here, I have the big light or a small um, panel light.
And with this technique, this is the result you will get. As you can see here, I'm using this small panel light from Lumq. It's super compact and affordable, and it even comes with a diffuser to soften the light. That diffuser is crucial. It makes your subject look way better compared to shooting without one. This light also lets you to adjust the color temperature from 3200 to 5600. You can use it for whatever you want: food, jewelry, portraits, anything. If you are shooting outdoors in daylight, set it to 5600. And if you're shooting under tungsten lighting, set it to 3200.
And tonight I'm using the Canon R6 Mark I, and I'm using the Canon EF 24mm f1.4 Mark II. This lens was released for a while, but for the quality it is very acceptable. It is very good. It's still my favorite lens. And this is the Godox X2T for Canon. This one is the trigger I'm using to um, control my flash.
There are different groups: A, B, C, D, and E. You can assign your flashes to any of these groups and then control them all directly from this trigger.
And here I have the flash. It is Godox VA60 Mark III for Canon. As you can see, it is very affordable. Actually, you can use any flash. I'm using this one for professional work. This one is very reliable, so I highly recommend this one.
You also can use this flash as a trigger to control your other lights, but because it's heavier than the actual trigger, I usually just use the dedicated trigger instead. It's lighter and easier to work with. Do you see the color when it flashes?
Because on this flash, I think it is the Kelvin temperature is 5600 or something. So that's why usually for low light under tungsten light, I usually use gel. You can buy any gel, like any piece of gel like this one from any camera store or Amazon. It is very cheap. So now I just like put it on my flash, and now you can see when I try to flash, it is like much yellower. So when you see the environmental light is yellow and my flash is yellow, now when you take a photo,
The subject's skin tone will look natural.
and this is the diffuser for the flash. You can buy any kind of diffuser on Amazon or from B&H, but this one is my favorite. I use it all the time. I do also have the Gary Fong diffuser, but that one is too bulky. So this one is the one I use the most. As you can see here, when I put it in the backpack, I just like push it down. So it stay right on the flash. When I need to use it, I just pull it up. It doesn't take much of space, as you can see. Like it is very compact, very good for travel. All right, let's turn on my camera.
The first thing you want to do is go into your menu and adjust your Kelvin temperature. Usually, you can just use the camera's preset, but sometimes the lighting is different, so you might need to set it to 2200, to 2700, or even 4000, depending on the situation. Why do I set my shutter speed to 1 over 250? For most flashes, the fastest shutter speed you can use is 1 over 250. Some flashes let you go higher, 1 over 1000, 1 over 4000, and that feature is called high speed sync. But in most cases, if your flash doesn't have that, your highest shutter speed is 1 over 250. So that's what I set it to here. The second thing I do is set my exposure. In the last video, I showed you that I usually set my camera meter to 0, but for my style, when I'm using flash, I like to dial the exposure down to around -1. That way, the subject really stands out from the background.
All right, now I put my flash on my camera.
I set my flash to manual mode and start at the lowest power.
Now I take a shot. The photo is okay, but because it is a little bit under exposure, so now I will raise my flash power by 1 stop. All right, let's try again. It is so much better now.
On Canon cameras, if you want to make sure your photo looks good and captures all the details, you can press this button, the info button, to bring up the histogram. As you can see here, all the details are still here, so we are good. Now, you might be thinking, wait, last time you said the histogram should be lean too far, left or right. It should be in the middle, but now it's leaning more to the left, and you said it's fine. What's going on? Here is the reason. In this photo, the menu is what we want to capture, and everything around it is really dark. The menu is only taking up a small part of the frame, but the histogram shows everything in the photo. So because there's more shadow overall, the histogram leans to the left. Also, always trust your eyes. If it looks good, then it's good. You don't have to stick to one style. You can steer it down. Doing this can add more contrast to your photos and make them more dynamic.
Now, what if you want to use the flash in a different way? You can use the trigger. To use the trigger, you turn it on the right side. Once you turn the trigger on, you press the B button right here, and you press the mode button to set it to M. M stands for manual, or you can set it to TTL, which is auto. But I like to use it in manual mode.
To adjust the power, I turn the dial at the bottom. And as always, I start at the lowest power.
About my flash, now I will set my flash to slave mode so I can control my flash using my trigger. On the right side you can see this button. Hit it until you see the yellow, the orange screen.
On the trigger, I chose Group B. So now on this flash, I will set it to Group B as well. I hit the left button to set the group.
So
If
now
I
I'm
press the
holding my
button
trigger,
with the flash
and when I
symbol
hit
on the
this
trigger,
flash button,
the flash
my
will
flash
fire.
will start flashing. And this is how it works. I take my flash down from the camera. I put my trigger on my camera. So when I take a photo, my flash is, as you can see, it's flashing. When I take photo, I hold the camera with my right hand and hold the flash with my left hand. I usually raise my flash a little bit over my head and tilt it down like 45 degrees, something like that. Point it straight to my subject. Alright, this is the photo when I put my flash on my camera. And this is the photo when I hold the flash in my left hand. Now, with this method, you see in the photo, it has more contrast.
And the flash stands out more than when you put the flash on the camera.
So, for low light portrait, I recommend you holding the flash like this and using the trigger on your camera. That's why you can get the better photos. Alright, so that is the video for today. I hope this video helped you a lot to level up your low light portrait game. And if you have any question, please drop it in the comment section. So if you find this video helpful, please hit like and subscribe button for more tutorial like this. If you have any question, feel free to ask me anytime, and I will answer them as soon as possible. So see you guys in the next video. Bye.